You notice I haven't tried to describe your music yet.
Everybody asks us what kind of music. I mean, I understand when people ask us and they've never heard the music before, they say, "What kind of music do you play?" I understand, but a lot of times people will come up to us after a show and be like, "What kind of music did I just hear?" It's like, does it really matter? You know,
Yeah.
it's like you eat a good meal. It's like you don't ask what kind of food that necessary. I mean, maybe if you want to find other stuff like that, but I don't think there's any. What we're doing really is anybody else is doing.
Why do we need to define things? You know, it just. But boy, I'd be hard pressed if I had to come up with something for you guys.
We call it Ozark Stomp because we're
Yeah.
from the Ozark region, and people tend to stomp at our music, and it just seems like it's better than trying to fit what we do into a different genre. Is just to make something up that people can be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, you guys have been doing gigs, for 10 years now, and sometimes upwards of 200 shows a year. It seems like playing South by Southwest a while back was sort of a breakthrough for you guys.
Yeah, the actual South by Southwest showcase that we did wasn't that well attended, but afterwards we hustled up a closing the night out gig at a venue, and somebody just happened to be walking by and happened to see us. Bucky Baxter, who's Bob Dylan's steel guitar player, just happened to walk by, liked what he heard, asked if we had a PA, if we wanted to play a party, and we said, sure, we got nothing going on besides trying to avoid traffic. And so we went the next night and played a party at his friend's house, and a lot of the people that we work with now they showed up at that party and heard us for the first time.
Sometimes it's just a business deal, but I got the impression that Billy Gibbons takes credit for finding you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think ZZ Top really has helped us out immensely. In my opinion, I think when people see us, they like what they see and they like what they hear. And the part of the equation which is sort of difficult to do as a lesser known band is to get people into the places to see you, and ZZ Top has really done that for us. They've let us play in front of their people, and we owe them for that.
You've been out with them more than once. They must like you.
4 times now. We get along a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the quote from Dusty Hill, who said, first time he saw you guys set up, he's like, well, that can't be it. That just looks like a bunch of stuff you'd find by the side of the road.
Yeah.
It's got to be a little bit different. Well, first of all, I think for most people, stepping in front of a crowd is like ZZ Top, ZZ Top, and then here's the Ben Miller Band. It's like,
I think one of the when we played with them in Montreux, Switzerland, we weren't supposed to play, and Billy just had them sneak us in between him and what's the other guy's name? George Thorogood, but we don't look like musicians. We just kind of look like stagehands, I guess. So we ran up and put all of our stuff on stage real quick, and then walked off again. And then they played our music to walk on, and we walked onto the stage. And I think everybody's like, why are they letting the stagehands play music? What's going on? And it was really neat to just kind of sneak in and here's 15 minutes. This is all we got, and just kind of. I think it was a cool surprise for everybody,
Yeah, that's very cool. So, you think about this kind of music and what you've done for us live. And before we sat down, you said, I want to do something a little bit different than the record for you today, show another side. And we appreciate that. But the record, when you put it on, knowing who you guys are and what you do, the record is a little bit surprising because there's such production value to it. And the record was actually produced by Vance Powell, who's worked with Jack White and Buddy Guy and Wanda Jackson, Willie Nelson, Kings of Leon. So can you talk a little bit about walking into that studio? Was it a different experience recording this time around?
It's pretty close to what we did before. We had an album we did with him before that was self-funded. It was before the record label came into the picture. And it was kind of similar to that. The one before was sort of more experimental, sort of stretching our limits and finding out how to do what we do in a live setting in a studio. And we figured out that we just have to sort of use the same process that we've used live, except speed it up and sort of condense it into the studio setting, which is like doing a lot of takes of songs and letting them sort of age in a sped up fashion.
I read a comment from you that really surprised me. You said that, at least in some ways, the new record was informed by hip hop.
Yeah, for sure. I listened to Kanye and Jay-Z and Earl Sweatshirt, and a lot of their beats were just really great. I mean, it's like the greatest beats and production as well. That some of the greatest production that's out there right now is from hip hop. But they were using a lot of these ethnic melodies over their beats. And I think that they got to that, they started out with the hip hop beats, and then they were like trying to find new spices and stuff to put on top of it. But we kind of have an ethnic, if Appalachia could be called ethnic, like sort of this cultural sound to us. And I thought that we could sort of get to the same level of completion of music, sort of coming at it from the other direction, like bringing those interesting hip-hop rhythms and energies into the Appalachian blues stuff that we do.
Well, it's an absolutely phenomenal piece of work. The new CD is called Any Way, Shape, or Form. It's brand new. It's on New West. It actually comes out tomorrow. Every once in a while in this business, if you beg long enough and hard enough, they'll slip you a copy early under penalty of death if you play it before they want you to play it. So we've had a chance to live with this CD a while. And guys, this is a really good piece of work.
No, thanks.
Really appreciate it.
Do you have any favorite songs on it?
What now?
What's your favorite song?
Well, we've got a lot of favorite songs. The one we're starting off with is The Outsider.
Yeah.
But we're going to go
Did
deeper.
you plan this?
No, I didn't either.
Have you guys,
we
have
haven't
ever met before?
This is there's no collaboration on this.
Okay.
But we're going to go deeper. Guarantee you that.
Cool.
So and the thing that's nice too is that when you feel strongly about a record, and then you find out that your brethren feel the same way, and your record is just now going for ads at radio, but there were 9 stations that I know of that didn't wait for the ad date, that went early on the record. And I know that that's just industry stuff, but that's impressive. And that's really good. So you guys are off to a great start. And like I said at the beginning, it's really exciting to have you guys in right at the beginning when you're getting ready for this big national push. And we'll do everything we can to help along the way. Of course, all credit will go to you, but we're certainly going to be out there beating the drum for you guys because you sure deserve it.
That's awesome of you guys. Thanks for doing it.
Ben Miller Band is in the studio, and we'd love to hear another song if we
All right,
could.
speaking of The Outsider, which you just mentioned, we're going to do The Outsider. Inside of me.
out of hell. Ooh, Lord, I hate my heroes who fail. Oh, yes, on the back.